All in or all out.
LA's new alternative.
Portions of this program will be recorded.
Fart noises.
This
Sexual innuendo.
is
And the icing on the cake, we're going through 69
the Woody Show.
Welcome back. It is a new hour of The Woody Show.
Yeah.
Where the headline is, it's Friday. The other headline, Woody is out today and Monday. He's with his son on what he calls Super Sports Weekend.
Super Sports Weekend. Wow.
Meaning the two of them can take in a hockey game and a football game
That's
in the
nice.
same weekend. I
With
know.
3 generations.
Yeah. Right, exactly. With his family. So, yes, he is out. And Greg, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Because Seabass is out as well.
I know. I'm okay. I'm trying to
you
deal
all right?
with it. I had a...
I heard some weeping in the hallway.
Yeah, Board talked me off the ledge.
Oh,
Okay.
I told him how
Nice
sad I
Board.
was today. Yeah.
All
I'll be all right.
Okay. All right. Well, Seabass, he is on the Bert Kreischer cruise, so at least
Lucky.
I think we'll get some great audio
That'd
from
be
him
fun.
next week.
Good blast.
But we're out here. I'm Ravi, along with Greg Menace, Sammy, Bort, Morgan, Caroline, and Vaughn. Phone lines are open at 877-44-WOODY. That's 877-44-WOODY. Or you can text over to 22987. Seabass did leave us a DUIQ.
Good.
Sweet.
So we're going to be doing that in just a little bit. Menace is going to tell us what's trending coming up. But right now, Greg, tell us what is happening out
Well,
there.
the news is bad to start with. As we were going to bed last night, the latest on the mass shootings in Maine, they had what they were calling a standoff. So I thought they had
Okay.
the suspect surrounded, but that's actually not the case. We'll get to that in a second. The death toll is at 18 after those separate shootings, one at a bowling alley, one at a restaurant. So there's this manhunt for the suspect essentially all day yesterday, still ongoing. And then in the evening, authorities surrounded his last known address, but he wasn't there. So when I saw the
Right.
headline that
But
they're
they
in
were
a
shouting,
yeah.
right? Come with your hands up and
Please come out. Exactly. When I woke up this morning, I thought, okay,
Oh, he'll be
we're going to
captured.
have the news that he was captured, but not the case. Still on the loose. One neighbor said that he's the kind of guy who would be good at going missing for a long time. His boat is also missing because they found his car at the boat dock. Turns out he owned a jet ski and a boat. The boat is gone. Authorities found a gun at his family home. Apparently, they found a suicide note that he had left for his son. And the area is still on lockdown. They're urging people just stay on lockdown. Now critics are slamming Maine's gun laws for being too lax. It turns out, as Woody mentioned yesterday, that Maine is not a red flag state. That means you don't need a background check to buy a gun. And then without background checks, the seller of any guns or rifles would not have known that this shooter has a history of mental health
And
issues.
he's been locked up.
Yeah, and these
You
are...
could just walk in and be
Yeah.
like, I'll be taking this AR.
Yeah, and
Wow.
so they were unaware of it. Those mental health episodes that he had were very recent, apparently. And some of the news got it wrong. He actually is not an Army veteran. He was just in the reserves.
Okay.
And apparently he was not a firearms instructor.
Wow.
I
so,
told my
that was like the
med.
first thing that was out.
Yeah, a lot of
Exactly.
misinformation.
There's right, and then the authorities said too that when they were surrounding him and they were in this standoff, that they were ready to charge him with 8 counts of murder. So the whole thing is, there's a lot of just changing
A lot of
information
it's very fluid.
by the minute.
So,
it seems.
when it comes to this, you just got to look at what's the most common sense. And the most common sense is that his car had all the, allegedly had all the lights on. The car was still running over by the boat dock and the boat's missing.
Exactly.
So,
who knows where he is?
So where's the Coast Guard?
yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're
Yeah.
involved, I would imagine. And then other bad news. Yesterday, Mexican authorities gave the first human toll for
every
Hurricane
day.
Otis and its destruction
Man.
along the Pacific coast. They say at least 27 are dead, 4 are missing. And Otis just took basically everybody by surprise because it was a tropical storm, and then it strengthened to a Category 5 hurricane really fast.
Yeah, they
Tropical storm to Category 5?
Yeah.
yeah, they can be that fast. In Cabo, they just had a
Yeah.
small hurricane. And I was in Cabo when they had a hurricane, and it was
Right.
out of just nowhere. Like, when I was at the resort, suddenly everyone has emergency gear on. I go, what is happening?
Right.
Yeah, isn't that
Everything is
weird?
sunny.
This hit Acapulco on Tuesday, and now tens of thousands of people are still waiting for help in their damaged houses. They don't have electricity. They don't have water because you need electricity to run the water pumps. And then in the impact zone, the destruction was so bad that not one single power line stayed standing after Otis hit. Not one.
Do you see the video that I sent you on email, Greg?
Yes. It's insane.
Total devastation.
It's unbelievable. And about 10,000 military troops have been deployed to the area, but they say they lack the tools to clean out tons of mud and fallen trees from the streets. So
Yikes.
that's the bad news. Now
Okay.
on to this interesting news.
Okay.
I want to get your take on this. A little restaurant in Georgia. It's in the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's getting in the news. The Toccoa Riverside Restaurant. And they're getting a lot of attention because they just added a potential service charge to some bills, and they call it the adult surcharge for adults unable to parent.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
talking about this on the
Nice.
Daily Show. This is pretty incredible.
Yeah, so in other words, if you bring your kid doesn't behave, they're unruly for whatever reason, you would get slapped with a service charge on your bill. Needless to say, parents, they're hating it.
They're all butthurt about it.
Yeah, there's these online reviews saying things like, we took our kids here, and the owner made a huge scene because my kids were running around.
Yeah.
And we were told, go to Burger King.
Yeah. Agreed.
No.
Agreed.
Another review says they had $50 added to their bill because their kids were watching a tablet until the food arrived. I wonder if that's true.
That I
Doubtful.
That's extreme.
I guess
I'd
it
rather
depends
ha-
on how loud
yeah.
it was.
I'd rather. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that because I'd rather have them
Because
watching
you-
a tablet.
Right, but with headphones on, right? What
Yeah.
if it was just, they're
Super
playing
loud.
Bluey and it's super loud?
That's true.
But can you just ask them to turn it down rather than $50 charge?
Exactly.
Say something.
Right. But most reviews still love their food and they still love the view from the place. So people are loving the restaurant, but parents are hating the bad parent charge. Go figure. I don't know if $50 would be accurate though. That
Go to
sounds
Burger King.
Yeah.
a bit hyperbolic.
Well,
I like it.
I mean, you can say that, but I was at a Burger King and an adult was playing like some game on his phone, and it was just like bing, 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 like full volume.
Yeah.
How annoying.
I was at a restaurant that every generation, there was grandparents, parents, and kids. Every single person, there had to be 8 people. Everybody was on a phone. Nobody was talking
Nobody
to each
was
other.
talking.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
It was
much.
legit.
Menace is like, yeah, and?
Yeah, legit
Yeah,
depressing.
Who cares?
And then effective yesterday, I thought this was in the works, but it's already going on. United Airlines now uses the Wilma boarding process. That's for anybody in economy. So when they board everybody, window seats first, then they board the middle seats, and then they board the aisle seats. Now, United says it's supposed to streamline the boarding process, make things a little faster. They say by an entire 2 minutes.
But I know we think like 2 minutes is not a big deal, but they said if it does that, they can actually add more routes because that 2 minutes
It'll just
adds up
build
throughout
up.
the country.
Exactly.
But then experts say this boarding process is not going to do anything because people are still slow.
They're
on
slow.
loading their
Right,
luggage.
the window people will be slow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on day one, which was yesterday, a lot of passengers already not happy with it. They say anybody with a window seat obviously gets the first dibs on overhead storage.
Sure.
Obviously. And then by the time the aisle seat people get on, lots of the overhead space is already
It's
taken
gone.
up.
Yeah.
So they say unless United strictly enforces the 2 carry-on rule, it is not going to go well at all.
How many things are people carrying on?
A ton of stuff.
But I think
Really?
I think overall it is enforced, at least on Southwest. I know they enforce
Yeah.
it.
But so many people will like their personal item they'll stick up there versus under their seat and their jackets, and they just shove everything above, which I
Yeah.
think is a problem.
And that is the problem with all of it. They don't need a new boarding process. It's not like Southwest is superior or assigned seats is superior or Wilma is superior. The idea is to change the mindset of society. Just get in, put your stuff away fast, and sit the F down.
And all of it's not just carry-on luggage, like normal luggage. Some of it, like this other guy the other day, he had a guitar, and I'm like, dude, Kings of Leon, bro. Like, relax. You're taking up like a whole
Yeah,
bin.
a whole bin
Yeah.
Easily.
with your stupid guitar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you ain't making it.
Yeah, bro. If you have to carry your guitar on a, domestic passenger flight,
Commercial flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a
you're not
rocker.
going to make it, bro.
just fly private next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fly private. That's the answer to all of it.
Yeah.
Duh.
Supposed to be on a bus right now.
Yeah, man.
Touring.
Well, that is what's happening, Ray.
Well, thank you very much, Gregory.
Got it.
We do have the DUIQ coming up next, and if you would like to play, it's 877-44-WOODY. That's 877-44-WOODY. Play the DUIQ, which is coming up next on The Woody Show.
The Woody Show.